Hey guys, what is up? It is the real Randy Chavez here, coming at you with a Pokemon sales data video. It has been a long 40 something hours, but I am here. I am ready to do this video. Let's get into it. We have Giovanni's Machamp First Edition PSA 9. Or I'm sorry, PSA 10. I don't think this is a retrace. Well, it is a retrace because it was up to like 330, 350. This one sold for 259, but it was a foreign auction. Like I don't know what the shipping was, but generally foreign auctions, foreign from the U.S., they don't sell as high, or it depends. Sometimes they sell higher because people in Great Britain or Australia don't want to pay that income fee, but sometimes it doesn't get as much attention because on eBay when you like search an item, it goes like, okay, 1 out of 4 items or whatever, and then it'll end, and then normally there's something that's similar to that underneath that line. But underneath that line, sometimes are foreign auctions, which you just don't see. So some people are just like, oh, okay. But this got 259. I don't know if that's a real retrace or if that's just foreign auction retrace. Typhlosion number 18, T18, first edition PSA 9, sold for $800. That is one that is more common, easier to grade. Dark Golbat, first edition PSA 9, sold for $100. Dark Charizard, first edition PSA 9, sold for $770. There's another one of those in here. Birthday Pikachu, PSA 10, sold for a record $1,175. Dragonite, first edition PSA 9 from the Fossil set, sold for $450. Scyther, first edition PSA 10 from Jungle, sold for $860. Togetic from Neo Destiny, first edition PSA 8, record price of $152. However, the first top two bids were $152 and $150, and then dropped down to $67. So, had one of those top two guys not been there, might have only been an $80 card, maybe a little less. Erica, first edition PSA 10. It's Trainer Erica. It's over $665. $665 was the only bid. $655 was the second bid, and then on down to $440 for the third bid. Koga first edition PSA 10 sold for $410. Sabrina first edition PSA 10 sold for $410. And Blaine first edition PSA 10 sold for $410. These are all auctions, so it's not like or best offer, and they're all auctions. Misty's Tentacruel first edition PSA 10 sold for $472. Lieutenant Surge's Raichu first edition PSA 10 record price. The third bid was $363, second bid was $405, and then $410 was the record price. That's what it sold for at auction. I remember people a month ago selling these for $232. People were like, ooh, expensive. Now people love that card. Brock's Ninetales, first edition PSA 10, $405. I was looking at that. Should have bought it. I didn't. Next time. Lieutenant Surge's Electabuzz, $386. Obviously, first edition PSA 10. Erica's Vileplume, first edition PSA 10, sold for $330. And Gym Heroes Rocket Trap, first edition PSA 10, sold for $152. Then we have Aerodactyl, first edition PSA 9 from the Fossil set, Hollow, sold for $84 only. Erica's Venusaur, first edition PSA 7, sold for $108. Interesting. Blaine's Charizard, first edition PSA 9. There's a couple of these, but this one sold for $1,175. Actually, the same as Birthday Pikachu, first edition PSA 10. But Blaine's Charizard, first edition PSA 9, that's not a record price point for it, but that is still a good price nonetheless, over $1,000. Ow. Blaine's Arcanine, first edition PSA 10. Remember how we had like a month ago a couple at 2.4K? And then I got one at 1.5K. Someone else sold one at 1.5K. And then, so it was like a V-shaped recovery. This one sold for $2,200. It was $2,800 or best offer, but it sold for $2,200. So that was interesting. Speaking of or best offers, Espeon from Neo Discovery, first edition PSA 10, sold for, it was $3,500 or best offer. I'm going to say it was like $2,700. I don't know why that's coming out of my mouth right now, but that's what it is. So Trophy Kangaskhan news. I still have a little bit more to go here, but the last PSA 7 sold for $27,000, and this guy on E4 that one had offered me $15,000 for my Trophy Kangaskhan PSA 4. He's like, listen, can I get like a he said he's flexible on the grade. There's maybe like a 6 or 7. He upped it to $21,000. And people are like, listen, 7 sold for that. A 6 sold for 20,000 the other week. And again, he's flexible on the grade. He hasn't come back and directly offered me that 21 grand. But most likely, if I came to him saying like, hey, this is what the 4 is, should be a 6 or a 7, but that small crease on the back that does not show up on the front and is only visible from a certain angle, maybe he might discount it to 17 to 19 grand. I still wouldn't do it. I'm not even going to him because he wants like a 5 or a 6, and for 21,000, I'm not gonna say like, hey, 25,000, I might take this full. Give me, I'll give you my 4, because even at 21, if he direct messaged me right now, and he said, listen, I'm flexible on the grade, I'm getting no bites. I know you have a 4, it's in pretty good condition considering the 4 grade. I'll give you the 21,000 for that PSA 4. I couldn't do it. I can't. So few cards. I'm winning if I win that PSA 9 at auction from Heritage, I will sell him that 4. But until then, I can't. It's too special. There's so few cards of that. That's one of the top 4 or 5 trophy cards Pokemon in the world. I just can't do it. So that's what's going on with price points for Trophy Kangaskhan right now. The ball is really moving forward with that. That's fantastic. So moving on, Koga, first edition PSA 9, sold for $95. Venusaur, first edition PSA 10, base set. Have a little fun with this. The 4th bid would have been a record price point at $6,200. Oh my god, I remember like one of the last ones that these sell was like $3,500. $7,313 was the 3rd bid. $7,395 was the 2nd. And a record price point of $7,495, just $5 shy of $7,500. That was the winner. That is insane. Fuck. Now, if you want, the big 3, Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, you're gonna spend over $80,000 just for those 3 cards. Speaking of Blastoise, first edition raw base set. My grade, because it was off center, and that was really the only thing that I saw wrong with it. Maybe, depending on the way you look at it, it might have had a little teeny tiny bit of scratching on the hollow, but everything else was damn near perfect. I probably would have given it a 9, but maybe if one of the things on the hollow, it might have been an 8. But he took 12 pictures and everything looked really good. Again, minus the off centering. I honestly think that gets a 9. Top 6 bids: $2,000, $2,200, $2,225, $2,255, $3,000, and the winning bid of $3,050 for a raw copy of Blastoise first edition. Again, very, very good copy. Dark Dug Trio first edition PSA 9 sold for $139. Another Blaine's Charizard first edition PSA 10. It was $5,500 or best offer. I don't think that sold for $5,500. I messaged him, said, listen, you fucker, tell me what it sold for. No, I just said like, hey, do you mind if I asked what this sold for? It's a beautiful card, that type of deal. He didn't get back. I want to say minimum $3,500 because that's what the last few sold for. He probably got 38, $4 grand for it. It's great. Brock's Rhydon, first edition PSA 9, sold for $175. Blaine's Charizard, first edition PSA 9, sold for $1,500. That is a record price point. So that is, that's insane. Yeah. Dark Hypno, first edition PSA 10, sold for $180. And a Rockets Hitmonchan, first edition PSA 10, sold for $141. I'm sorry, that was a Rockets Hitmonchan, first edition PSA 9, sold for $141. So I still think the 10 is undervalued at $400. If the 9 is the correct price, then that's good. Dark Charizard, first edition PSA 9, another one sold for $750. So you had 2 price points, $770 and $750 for the Dark Charizard, first edition PSA 9. No one's hit that $1,000 mark yet for that Dark Charizard. I'm patiently waiting for that, just because it's fun. we had another Dark Charizard, first edition PSA 8, sold for $495. So maybe that $1,000 price point is getting closer and closer for that 9. And this auction just ended like 20 minutes ago. Had a Teddy Ursa, first edition PSA 10 from Neo Discovery, cute card, whatever. And then there was an Ursa ring with that as well, first edition PSA 10 holo. The last one to sell was in like April for like maybe like $200. And I was like, I go, there's only 52 PSA 10 copies. People are sleeping on Neo Discovery. The bid was like $200 something. There's like 3 bids. Like, there's not a lot of bids on this. And there's a couple minutes left. I was like, the 9s, last one was sold for $125 to like $175. I was like, this is minimum $400 card. I should bet $500 or $600. But at $273, I was like, all right, let me bid $400. I see the last like 7 seconds, slowly rising, sweating, nervous, and then I get outbid the last half a second. Someone bid $405. Motherfuckers. Yeah, so that was interesting. I was winning. The highest bid up until that point was $329, and then someone outbid me by $400. That again, 52 PSA 10 copies. People are sleeping on Neo Discovery. That Ursa ring is probably once Neo Discovery catches up to everyone else, that's a $1,500 card. That's a $2,000 card. I really should have bought it. I should have got it. I didn't. It was my fault. Should have done it. I haven't offered I offered $4,000 last week for that BGS 9.5 Charizard. Gold Star Charizard with that autograph. The auto got a 9 for autograph got a 9 for Fukuda. I don't know what I have to offer him. I don't think I can do it because I have, even though the autograph probably is going to make it a lot. BGS 9.5 is a great grade, and that is definitely worth it. I have so much to do this week as far as financial commitments. I just don't think I can do it. But either way, that's what I got for now. I got a new safe deposit box at the bank for my cards because I outgrew the other one. I was like, oh, I should probably. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. I love you all. Bye.